So the first thing that we'll talk about today is our secret number 2. And what's the secret number 2? Is how to awaken your baby's unconscious genius in just 5 minutes per day using the Prodigy Framework. Now, some of you are already wondering, if babies can really develop miraculous abilities, especially if it is more than any other person in history, surely it cannot be done in just 5 minutes a day, right? Well, they aren't exactly wrong. It took me more than 2,000 plus hours to go through 60 years of research on this subject and create my proprietary 5-minute a day Prodigy baby system. So let me tell you how this came together. Once we discovered that our own baby Prabal had unlimited potential and abilities just like all other babies, I of course as a father wanted to unlock his miracle powers. So we started with the basics. We asked ourselves, what does it mean to be smart or intelligent? And we did what most people would do. We Googled, and here's what we found. As you can see, as soon as we typed types of intelligence, we got all of these similar looking images all pointing us to the same thing. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. As per Howard Gardner, a world-renowned researcher and scientist at Harvard University, there are 9 types of intelligences in any human being. First, we have logical intelligence, a common trait for scientists and detectives. We next have spatial intelligence, which are used by people like architects, painters, sailors, and pilots. Musical intelligence, this is fairly straightforward. The next is kinesthetic intelligence, which incorporates everything to do with movement and positions of the physical body. This kind of intelligence is the expertise of dancers, athletes, acrobats, and surgeons. Next is linguistic intelligence, or the intelligence of the languages. People with this intelligence are good communicators, writers, and public speakers. Intrapersonal intelligence. People who have a good understanding of their own selves, like psychologists and spiritual leaders, have these qualities. Then there is interpersonal intelligence, which is the opposite of intrapersonal. People who are capable of empathizing with others. These include actors, teachers, social workers. Existential intelligence is the intelligence of the philosophers and theologists, people who spend time thinking about the meaning of life itself. And lastly, naturalist intelligence, people who are inclined towards nature and the like, chefs, botanists, and zoologists. 9 types of intelligences, but how do we apply this to a little baby? And how do we discover their potential and sleeping genius? Well, by this time I was quite obsessed about cracking this code, and I decided to immerse myself in discovering this secret. I picked up my first book to learn more, and then another, and then another, and another, and another, and another. Before we knew it, I had gone through 75 plus books and read the most important sources worth reading on every topic related to intelligences. And once this was done, I gathered up all my notes, all of this information to create a framework that would work for my little boy, baby Prabal. And this is how the Prodigy Framework was born. A single framework that would encompass all 9 types of intelligences in a human being as applicable and relevant to a little baby. At the beginning of this session, remember we said that parents who think that it's quite impossible to develop miraculous abilities in a baby in 5 minutes a day are not exactly wrong? Yes, they are not wrong, because it has literally taken us more than 2,000 plus hours to create our system. Now, there are several paths to reach the same goal. Babies have amazingly fast learning capacities and crazy unlimited hidden abilities. But there is no single path to awakening this unconscious genius. So I have to be honest and tell you, you do have 2 choices. You can either do your own research, read up all of the source material and create your own system. Or you can simply follow the framework that we have already built and perfected over the years and applied to more than 25,000 plus babies across 23 countries as of this recording of the video. But if I have been able to earn your trust so far and you would like to know more, then let me reveal to you for the first time the Prodigy Framework. So are you ready to discover the Prodigy Framework with me? So here goes. My patent pending Prodigy Framework. Let me tell you how this framework was actually conceptualized. So at the base of the framework, we have athleticism. Athleticism is the foundation of everything else because without physical well-being, we cannot be happy, and conversely, any disturbance inside our body can interfere in our daily functioning as well. The left pillar of the framework is intelligence. It covers all our left brain activities like logic, memory, language development, reading, etc. The framework is designed in such a manner that it works appropriately for our right brain dominant babies as well. The right pillar of our Prodigy framework is creativity. It covers all the abstract creative thoughts and skills inside of their brains. Creative thinking, painting, acting, music, all of these are covered under creativity. With this triangle, we cover most of everything that we associate with prodigious abilities. Everything from logic to mathematics, music, sports, etc. And we could easily have stopped here, right? But we think that just having prodigious skills and abilities is not enough. You need something more. Something more to take you that extra mile to be the person who would make their parents, their community, and their country proud. And thus, encapsulating everything else is the moral code or the TMC, without which none of this even matters. TMC is what builds our baby's personality and their character as they grow up. And once you have all of these, you unravel and decode something that very few people in the world are fortunate to have, the P sense. The P sense or the prodigy sense gives your baby the edge over anybody else in utilizing their abilities. It sharpens your baby's intuition and heightens their powers exponentially. So now that you know what the Prodigy Framework looks like, let's talk about what the Prodigy Framework enables in your baby. Oratory and language skills, logical thinking, languages of intelligence, reading, mathematics, encyclopedic knowledge, photographic memory, number memory, drama, arts, singing proficiency, musical instruments, scales and pitch, rhythm and beat, creative thinking, athleticism, physical dexterity, strength, stamina, confidence, curiosity, independence, empathy, compassion, leadership, generosity, happiness, and joy. So how does this sound? I know what you're thinking. Now you are thinking of the promise that I made at the beginning of the session, right? That this is all possible with just 5 minutes of efforts per day. And you're wondering how this will all come together in just 5 minutes a day, right? Do not worry. You are not alone in this thinking and questioning. Because even Einstein, one of the greatest scientists who have ever lived in this world, called this kind of a phenomena the eighth wonder of the world. Let me show you what I mean. Suppose you put 1 unit of effort per day every day of the year. What do you get? You put in the average effort and you get average results, right? Now, suppose you put in just 1% less effort every day. So 0.99 every day for 1 year. With that just little bit of less effort, the result that you get is very, very poor. Only 3% of the original result, or 97% less than the average. But if you put in just a little bit extra effort, only 1% more every day, then at the end of the year you get close to 37.8. And the difference between little more and little less is an astonishing 125,900% more. This is the power of compounding. This is what Einstein calls the eighth wonder of the world. And this is exactly what you are able to achieve by putting in the extra 5 minutes with your baby every day by following the Prodigy Framework. So what can be achieved in 5 minutes daily? What are the results that you can get? We can help our babies retain and ignite all of their abilities that matter before they are cut off and thrown away by their brains using synaptic pruning. Let's look at what other benefits you can expect when you follow the Prodigy Framework with your baby. Super memory, almost like imprinting a photograph inside your baby's brain so that your baby can ace exams effortlessly, make sound decisions, and have countless opportunities for college and career as they grow up. Incredible sports prowess so that your baby has the strength, stamina, speed, and skills to excel at any sport that they pursue. Genius mental math skills so that your baby will passionately love math and sciences and be amazingly good at them. Encyclopedic knowledge so that your baby knows about numerous topics under the sun and can hold his or her own on any conversation, whether history, sciences, arts, philosophy, geography, etc. Speed reading so that your baby can read full pages with a single glance and finish 100 books in the time it takes to finish 30 on an average. Creativity and drama so that your baby can be a star performer at every school annual day function. Prolific oratory skills so that your baby will be able to speak as naturally as breathing and have a magnetic leader-like personality. Foundations of logic so that your baby learns to think and reason rationally as well as decisively. A magnetic personality so that your baby develops the success trait, the leadership trait, happiness trait, appreciative abundance, and other desirable traits. Pitch perfect music so that your baby can entertain crowds of any size with their singing and musical instrument talents. The P sense so that they have unparalleled advantage of a heightened intuition in any decision making. Faster learning growth so that your baby will always be ahead of peers in IQ, EQ, knowledge, athleticism, creativity, music, memory, reading, and math for life. So that's the end of our secret number 2, where we talked about how the Prodigy Framework can be used for your baby. It literally just takes 5 minutes every day, but it leads to miraculous benefits of health, wealth, and happiness for life. So to quickly summarize, the Prodigy Baby System is a done-for-you method which awakens your baby's powerful genius abilities in all forms of human intelligence, including sports, academics, creative endeavors, and life skills like reading, math, memory, logic, personality, and character, with just 5 minutes of daily effort.